You know, finding your true identity today is honestly harder than it's ever been. If you're a young person trying to figure out exactly who you are in a world that literally constantly demands you be someone else, well, you are in exactly the right place. We are bombarded day in and day out with expectations, trends, and rigid rules about how we're supposed to act.
But in this video,
We're going to break all of that down. We're going to dive into what authenticity actually means, why we're sometimes completely terrified of it, and how you can start to unlock your true, genuine self. Let's get into it.
Let's be real for a second and really think about this. Do you ever feel like an imposter on your own social media feed? I mean, we spend so much of our time curating this perfect, highly acceptable image online, right? We post the right photos, we share the popular opinions, and we try so hard to project a version of ourselves that we assume the world wants to see. But the intense pressure to keep up this flawless digital life, it often leaves us feeling completely and totally disconnected from who we actually are when the screen goes dark.
Okay, let's dive into why that happens. There's this fascinating concept researchers call the authenticity paradox, and it perfectly captures our modern digital environment. Basically, it's this constant, exhausting tension. On one hand, you naturally want to project your genuine personal values, but on the other hand, there are these commercial needs and social expectations demanding you share what's currently popular. So we end up doing these little digital rituals, like, taking 20 selfies just to post the one that looks effortlessly casual. And what happens is our real, genuine experiences get warped into, essentially, advertisements for social recognition. We fixate so much on an image that merely looks authentic, we risk completely losing our actual identities in the process. Now, what's really wild is how we actually define being authentic completely differently depending on the context. Think about music subcultures for a second, like punk rock or heavy metal. In art and music, authenticity is basically about passing a purity test. You have to prove long-term dedication, know the history, and follow these really rigid unspoken rules. If you don't walk the walk, boom, you're labeled a poser and kicked out of the club. But authenticity in life? According to existential philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Soren Kierkegaard, it's the exact opposite. True life authenticity means acting in recognition of your absolute personal freedom. It literally means breaking away from the crowd, rejecting that pressure to adopt a prepackaged lifestyle, and taking full ownership of your own choices.
Right, so if personal authenticity is all about absolute freedom, why is it so incredibly hard to just be ourselves? Well, there's this vivid metaphor from a client in a coaching mastermind that just hits the nail on the head. They said, it's like my brain gets dipped in that Hershey's chocolate syrup that hardens into a shell. You know that exact feeling, don't you? On the inside, you're vibrant, you're full of ideas, you feel warm and free. But the very second you step into a crowded room or a high-pressure social situation, you freeze up. Your outward expression just hardens into this thick, protective shell to avoid any chance of rejection.
And that hardening shell, that is actually an ancient part of your mental wiring doing its job. Let's call it your internal safety police. A part of your brain literally believes that it is emotionally dangerous to just be you. The safety police is absolutely convinced that if you show your true self, people might judge you, or you'll be misunderstood, or worse, you might say the wrong thing and make people uncomfortable. It quickly calculates that being real equals being risky. So the safety police steps in, sounds the alarm, and says, nope, abort mission, keep it neutral, pull it back. And as a result, you shrink down. Not because you're boring or lack personality, but simply because your brain is desperately trying to keep you safe. Which brings us to the real heavy hitter here. The weight of vulnerability and shame. As researcher Brené Brown so brilliantly points out, sharing something you created or even just showing up as your raw, unvarnished self is a massive moment of vulnerability. And shame? Shame is that little toxic voice creeping in saying, you aren't enough, don't reveal too much. If they see the real you, they won't like it. If your inner safety police senses even a 1% chance of rejection, it will shut down 100% of your expression. It makes you want to just retreat and hide behind a metaphorical paper bag.
To put this societal barrier into perspective, entrepreneur Caroline McHughes uses this absolutely brilliant analogy. She says, imagine you are a USB stick, and every single time you walk into a room or open an app, you are plugging into the desktop of the world. Now, to survive, you obviously have to adapt to that context to some degree. But the real danger is what she calls approval addiction. This is that overwhelming, suffocating need for someone else to validate you and tell you that you're okay. Adopting someone else's opinion and mistaking it for your own is arguably one of the most debilitating barriers to living authentically. Because when you rely entirely on other people's approval, you completely lose your own inner voice. Okay, actually, let's scratch the metaphors for a minute and look at the hard science. Check out this paper published by the American Psychological Association from modern psychological researchers like Rivera and colleagues. Now, some skeptics out there argued that the true self doesn't even exist, or that feeling authentic is just us patting ourselves on the back when we happen to be in a good mood. But this research proves something totally fascinating. Subjective feelings of authenticity, literally just the feeling that you are being true to yourself, uniquely and robustly contribute to your overall psychological well-being. It actively lowers anxiety and depression and significantly increases your life satisfaction and your motivation to hit your goals. It's huge.
So what does this actually mean for us? It all boils down to this concept called true self as guide, or TSAG. Think of it like an internal compass. Even if the absolute objective truth of who you are is constantly shifting and evolving, we humans use the feeling of authenticity as a vital internal cue. We constantly evaluate if we're on the right track towards a good life based on whether our actions actually feel authentic to us. When we feel disconnected from our true selves, we feel lost and anxious. But when our actions align with that internal compass, we absolutely thrive. It's an incredible built-in mechanism that helps us navigate an unpredictable world.
Okay, so the big question. How do we actually find and use that true self as guide compass? Well, one of the most powerful ways to uncover your core values is through storytelling. Specifically, by examining what leadership experts call crucibles. Crucibles are those really intense, usually totally unplanned, moments of real-life adversity that force you to pivot, adapt, and ultimately figure out what it is you actually stand for when push comes to shove.
If you want to really dig into your own crucibles, expert Rob Jan DeJong suggests evaluating your past experiences using a three-step check. First off, identify moments when you were truly at your best, when you're in that magical state of effortless flow. Second, pinpoint the profound lessons that really stuck with you after a rough patch. And third, examine those conflicting dilemmas. You know, those incredibly tough moments where you were caught right between what society or your peers expected of you and what you deeply, truly believed in. By analyzing those tough choices, your underlying priority values just rise directly to the surface. It's like a giant puzzle coming together.
Now, if looking back at major life adversities feels a bit, overwhelming right now, we can totally start smaller with a journaling exercise. Coach Nancy Stevens provides these fantastic, grounded prompts to help you safely dig beneath the surface. Take a quiet moment and ask yourself, what feels top of mind or just a little off for me today? What specific activities give me real energy, and what are my absolute stress triggers? Look at your daily roles: student, friend, employee. Where do you actually fit into all that endless doing? And honestly, this one's my personal favorite. If all limits, expectations, and reasons were completely removed, what would you be doing and feeling right this exact minute? This kind of reflection, it cuts right through the safety police's noise.
As you try out these exercises and start really uncovering your identity, I need you to remember one absolutely crucial thing. Rebranding who you are is a consistent evolution. Being authentic is not about finding one fixed, rigid version of yourself and just staying that way forever. No way. It is an ongoing, beautiful identity shift. The person you were 2 years ago is definitely not who you are today. And who you are today is not who you'll be 2 years from now. You have to give yourself the grace to keep growing, to freely change your mind, and to continuously evolve into the very next level of yourself.
So, to wrap up our video today,
I want to leave you with this final, incredibly provocative thought, inspired by a quote shared by writer Tracy. It goes, "The definition of hell is on my last day on earth. The person I became will meet the person I could have become." Whoa. It's kind of like an intense personal obituary test to help you realize what your actual priority life values are, isn't it? Listen, every single day you have a brand new opportunity to step out from behind that chocolate safety shell, embrace your fears, and make absolutely sure you are expanding into your highest possible potential. Don't let the fear of a few odd looks or judgments rob you of living your own life. Lean into your true self, whatever that happens to look like today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I really hope this empowers you to embrace your own radical authenticity. See you next time.